That perfect paper. I just finished 3 years on national council, for example, with the CNIB. I am currently working closely with the March of Dimes. I was co-chairing a conference on disability and aging. It was an international conference, so that was very interesting. I also work, I'm a member of a committee that is called MAP, and it's Media Accessibility Participation. And what that is a group of individuals who are working to ensure that people with disabilities are reflected, in all forms of media. Because until recently, it was pretty rare to see a person with a disability who would be portrayed in any television shows or in advertising. And now, of course, we have I think it's called CIA, where there is a deaf woman who is actually on that show. CSI? That's called. And she's one of the people on the show, one of the investigators or whatever you call her. CSI.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. So
there might also be a deaf woman who works for the CIA.
We are starting to see a small change. And I think David Onley has really, who is our current Lieutenant Governor, he was born with polio and wears leg braces. And I remember him saying that at one point he was a weatherman with CTV. Moses Neimer said, from here on, we're going to shoot you your entire body because that's who you are, and we're not going to hide the fact that you have a disability. And so that was, I think, a step forward in terms of portraying people with disabilities, in television. Because of my involvement with MAP, I was asked through Chum television to participate recently in a public service announcement that featured 4 people with different disabilities on all the private broadcast networks. And that again was just to get across the message that everyone has abilities and that we are all different and we all have skills. And I think it definitely got the message across, because a lot of people stop me on the street and say, I saw that ad. They call it an ad, but and they said it was excellent because it does depict someone who is a chef and owner of a restaurant who uses a wheelchair that's designed so that he can stand up all day in it and cook with his staff, and a deaf woman who was using an interpreter, and then a really interesting fellow who's a break dancer called B-Boy, and that was very, very interesting. And he too had braces on his legs and evidently was very successful in Vegas and so on. So I think that was a very good start in terms of having people portrayed in the media along with mainstream, able-bodied actors.